Hello and welcome to today's webinar on Church360 Unite, showing you how to create feeds, posts, and comments. My name is Andrew Osborne. I'm a content specialist here at Concordia Technology Solutions. My contact information is up on the screen. Feel free to send me an email or give me a call anytime you have any questions about how to use the software or how to do certain aspects of building your church website, and I'd love to help you through that. A few housekeeping items for today's presentation. The presentation will go for about 25 minutes, and we'll have about 5 minutes for questions and answers at the end if we have any. You can ask questions throughout the presentation. However, I can't stop to answer them because we want to try to get through everything today, and I don't want to miss anything out. But I will leave time at the end to answer those questions. And this recording will be shared. So if you have to step out of your office for a minute to run an errand and you want to finish the end later, you can always get on our YouTube account and find this recording there. Here's the outline for today's presentation. We'll be talking about feeds, and then posts, then comments, and then again we'll get to the questions and answer. So pretty straightforward, but there's a lot to unpack in each of those. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to switch over to my screen here. This is our example training webinar website. And I want to show you first what feeds are. So first of all, there's many uses for feeds. You could use them for a sermon, posting your sermons each week. You could post blogs. You could do announcement pages. You could post up prayer requests. There's as many feeds as you want on your site you're able to have. The application's only limited to your imagination. So you can post as many things as you need to. For today, we're going to create an announcements page, so I can show you how to do that. So I think, yeah, right now I have an announcements page under news. I'll go to that so you can kind of see what it looks like. These are different posts. But I'm actually going to delete this page. So I'll go up into pages, and under news I have announcements. I'll click on that and hit delete. It'll tell me that I'm going to delete this permanently, and I'll say yes. So now it disappeared. When I go back to the menu here, it shows that it's there, but that's because I'm still on this page. So if I go to the home page and then try to go back, it's no longer there. So now I'll go back to pages, and I'm going to create an announcement page. So you'll go up to this top corner and you'll see there's two buttons up here. We talked about these in one of our previous webinars. This is the category button, and that's for these headings here to create categories, but we're going to create a page. So we'll click on the Add Page button. And you'll see there's lots of different templates you can use, and today we're going to look at this feed page. It's got this little broadcasting symbol to show you that it's a feed page. So we'll click on that and hit Create Page, and I'm going to name it Announcements. Hopefully I spelled that right. And now I'm going to drag it back under to News. Let me put it to the top. There we go. And I'll save those changes. Now when I click out of here, it should be back under News. There it is again. So now I'll click on the page, and it'll take me there. And you'll see that there's no content here. And that's because I deleted everything and recreated a new one. So that's the basics of setting up a feed. It's really easy to get them set up. You just go under to Pages and add a new one by clicking the Add New button and the Feed button. We're not going to do it again, but it's really simple to get those started. So now that we have our feed, we need to create posts. And again, posts are just the different things that you add to your feed. They could be blogs, they could be announcements, they could be prayer requests, anything you can think of wanting to share on a regular basis without changing the entire page. You can create a post page to share those posts. So to edit and add a post, you would click on the Edit Page button over here in the corner. So I'll click that, and you'll see that it changes what it looks like over here. It adds this WYSIWYG editor. WYSIWYG stands for What You See Is What You Get. So when you type in here, it's basically like a Microsoft Word document. You can type in anything, and you can change the way it looks by clicking there and changing the style. It's really easy to use also. Oops, delete that. Today I'm going to create a Bible study announcement. So we have a Bible study coming up at our church, and I want to share an announcement of what that Bible study is and what it's about and different information like that. So I have some stuff saved here in my document. Let me copy that in. So there's the title. I just have new Bible study, and we're going to call it Our Way Home, which is a book that we have here at CPH that studies the Lord's Prayer. So we'll pretend we're going to do a Bible study about that. Now I'll copy some information in. And you'll see that it pastes in there oddly because I had this set as a heading 2. I can go in and change that back to a heading 1. It should work. Let's try that again. Not sure why that's not working. Let me delete that and add it back in now. There we go. Copy that. Paste it in there. Sometimes you have to copy back and forth just to make sure you get the settings cleared out. But now I have this heading up here that I want to be bigger and stick out a little more. So I'll highlight that, and I can go up to Styles, and I'll set it as an H2 style, which is a bigger, bolder, and it's blue. So it'll really pop it out. You don't want to make many H1 headings on your posts because your announcements heading up here is an H1. And when you're dealing with Google Analytics and SEO and things like that, it's not good to have more than one H1 saying this is the most important thing on the page. So we want to make it an H2 or lower. So I'll make this an H2, and I must have had that added together. So let me change that back to normal. Not sure why that's not doing that. Let me delete that out. And I'll just paste that back in. Again, sometimes you have to just go back and forth until you get it looking just right. It can be a little tricky, but there we go. Now it looks right. So that's basically my post. I can hit create, and it just drops it down in there, and you'll see it comes up with a new blank post. I can save this and then exit out of my edit page mode, and you'll see I have this new post here. I can click on that post, and it'll take me to that post. We'll look at comments in a moment, but now I can see the actual post. I'll go back to the feed page. You can just click on announcements. I can edit this this post by going back to edit page, and now I can click this edit button up here, and it takes me back to the post page. And now I can go in and change anything I need to. If I have information that's changed, I can do that now. I can highlight a certain area. If we had a date in here, say this starts this Sunday, I can highlight this, and I can link to our calendar by clicking this link button up here. So there's the link. You can set it to any URL you want, but I'm going to set it to a page in my feed in my site. I'm going to go down to calendar and hit OK. So now when I click on that, let me save it and exit out of here actually. Now when I click on it, it'll take me to my calendar page, and I can see what's going on. Let me go back. There we go. I'm going to edit this some more. You can set this to show what your content is when you're looking at the feed page. So if I didn't want to post the content, I could check that and hit save. And now when it shows the post, it'll just show the title. And if people want to see the information, they actually have to click on it to go in and see it. So it's easy to set that up and restrict access to what people see and things like that. I could change the URL, the post title, the meta description. I can add some things in here to say kind of what the post is about. I could change the publish date if I wanted to backdate it or set it for future. I could change the feed from here. Say this was actually supposed to go under the pastor's blog. I could just click on that, and now it's in the pastor's blog when I save. I'm going to leave it under announcements though. Oops, sorry. There we go. I'll hit save. If I wanted to add a picture in, I could do that also. I'll just click here and go down a little. let's see, I have a picture I think saved in here. So let me just show you. To add a picture or audio or video or anything like that, you would just click these buttons up here, but I'm going to do a picture, so I'll click on this image button. And you can upload it here. Otherwise, once you've uploaded it once, it will save into your image directory. And I have a bunch saved on this website already, so I'm just going to click down here, and I think it's right here. This is the header for this, and I'll hit OK. You'll see when it comes in, it's real stretched and crazy because the image itself was a much larger size than this page was able to read. But I can change that by double-clicking on it, going to Advanced, and you'll see it's set to 4,500 pixels width. I'm going to set that at 100%. That will mean it stretches to 100% of whatever the window is offering. And I'm just going to delete out the height so it doesn't worry about that. I'll hit OK. You'll see it pops down to a normal size. Now when I change the size of my window, you'll see that the image itself adjusts to that. But if I pop it all the way out, it goes to the full size it can. So it's easy to add images in. You can also link to this by clicking on it and creating a link to a different page. And any of this content that you're doing, most of it you will probably just control from up here. But if you really want to get into it, you can edit from the source itself. So if you know HTML, you can go in here and edit the HTML and set it up exactly how you'd like it and get rid of some of these things if you don't need them, and set it up and style it the way you need to. You can also change different things like where you have the text line alignment and things like that. You could change it to right alignment, centered, or left, or anything you like that. You can bold everything. I don't want to do that though. You can change all these different settings. So there's lots of different ways to use this, and it's really easy to get started throwing things together and making it look good, and having lots of different variety on your posts. So now I'll save all of this, and I'll click out of Edit. So this is our post. If I want to see what it looked like on the announcements page, I could go there. You'll see I still have the description off, so I just see the title. I could go in there now, and if people are logged into our website, they could go in and they can add comments. You can set on each post. Oops, sorry, not on the post, on the post pages. Oops, there we go. You could set the rules for these feed pages. You could allow comments, or you could not allow comments. And you could set it to moderate comments or not moderate comments. And there's lots of different thoughts that go into this. If you have posts that you don't really want people commenting on because it's just information that you want to share and you don't really want to start a discussion, you could turn the comments off. But if it's like a blog post and you want people to talk about it and share it with their friends and start dialogue about it, you could allow the comments. If this is a post that's available to anyone in the public, you may want to consider moderating the comments, because there may be people who don't attend your church that stumble upon this post, and you want to make sure that what they're saying on it reflects well for your church. So if you click moderate comments, you would then have to go in and approve every comment that comes in on this post. If it's just a blog post that's being shared with the people in your church, you could click to not moderate comments if this is on a private page that you're sharing. Then people in your congregation can comment on it and reply to each other without you having to go in every time and approve those comments. You could set how many posts you see on your announcement page. So right now it's set to 7, so I could have 7 announcements showing on the announcement page at one time. You could increase this or decrease this however you would like to. If I only wanted 3 at a time or 2 at a time, I could set it to that. And then when people go to the announcement page, they'll only see the top 3 most recent posts. They won't see all 100 that we've created since we started this page, if you have that many. So now we're going to look at comments a little bit. So I'll click on this, and go down to the bottom, and you can see the comment section. I could comment on this blog. This is great. Correct that. And I can post that. And now it pops right in there. People can reply to my comment. My comment can be deleted or edited. If I messed it up a little, I could just update it there. You can have different ways to format your comments by going to this markdown. That's a little more advanced and probably won't be used all that often. It would take you to this page where you can see all of the different elements that you can add in. It deals with things like HTML and formatting that way. So if you want to dig into that, you're more than welcome to click there and figure out how to format these comments down here. But typically people just kind of type in what they want to share without worrying about the formatting too much. So let me cancel that. If someone else was logged in, I think I can actually log in real quick to show you what that looks like. You won't be able to do this from your computer. This is just a feature we have here in internal. So now I'm logged in as a user, and I can go down. Oh, it's still showing I'm logged in actually. Let me log out first. There we go. Now I'll try and log in. I'll come in just as a normal user. So now when I'm logged in as a user, I see that this panel at the top is gone and I can't edit the different pages. But I can go to the news and announcement page. And it's saying there's no post yet. And that's because I forgot to make this post public. So let me log back in actually and make this post public so you can see that. So let's do that. Oops. There we go. Log in to me. So to make the post public, you would go to Announcements. You would click on the post, hit Edit Page, and now you'll see up here at the top it says Status Draft, and that means that I'm working on this post, but it's not actually public yet. So to make it public, I would just change that to Published, and then hit Save. And now it will be available to people who are logged in as users. So I'll exit out of there, log back out, and log in. And I'll log in as Joe. So now when I go to News and Announcements, I'll see that there's this post here. And there's a comment on it. I can see that there. So I'll click on the post and read through it. It sounds like a really exciting event coming up. And now I want to comment on it. So I can add, you're right. And I can add my name, Joe. And then I have this CAPTCHA that I need to put in. CCHIUSO 14600. And my post adds right in there. I have the comments set to allow anyone to comment on it, so I don't have to, as the administrator of the site, approve those comments. People are able to just jump in and add their comments. So that makes it easy for me as the moderator, that I don't have to actually approve anything. But as I said, if this is a public blog and people in the public will be able to see this, you may want to consider moderating those. That way people aren't able to just add things that may be inappropriate. If Joe wanted to reply to my comment, not just to the blog, she could click on Reply, and then she can add a response here. Thanks, Andrew. And then add Joe. Type in the CAPTCHA. Hit Post. And it comments down there at the bottom. And when I log back in as me, I will be able to see those comments. So I can see there's 2 comments now. It says 2 because one of them is a response to my comment. So there's only 2 actual comments, but then there's a response. So you can see her comment up here at the top, excuse me, and then you can see her response to my comment. So it's really easy to start conversation over your posts. You could share content and ask people to answer a question in the comments below. So you could say, if you've had any questions about the Lord's Prayer, what questions would you ask? Answer down in the comments, and then people could answer those and put their questions down here and add to that. So if the pastor wanted to answer the questions or even get an idea of what to talk about in the Bible study, he'll know what things people don't know and be able to fill in those gaps. So it's a great way to start conversation and hear from people and share with each other. That's basically how you set up feeds and posts for your church website. I think that was everything I wanted to cover for today. So now I'll switch back over to my slides, and if anyone has any questions, I would love to answer those. And while I'm waiting to see if any questions come in, I can switch over, and if you would like to receive updates about any software updates that we have coming out, you can receive those by subscribing to our Church360 Unite blog. To do that, you would go to 360unite.com/blog, and you can receive updates whenever they come out through there. I also have my contact information. Again, you can email or call me anytime you have any questions and you need help, or if you just want to know how to do something or you can't remember, feel free to contact me and I can walk you through those steps. You can also contact our software support team, and they're really helpful and could walk you through any of the steps to get all this done. So there's their contact information as well. Again, here's where you would receive updates. Go to 360unite.com/blog. And my contact information. Not seeing any questions. So unless I see any in the next 10 seconds or so, I suppose we'll end a little early today. So thank you for joining me today as we talked about posts and feed pages and how to use those for your church to communicate better with your congregation. My name's Andrew Osborne. Thanks for joining me today. Have a good one.